So a lot of our customers have a lot of data on S3, and I wanted to show you how to directly query it and ingress it into Definite. So the first step is to connect S3 to your Definite account. You can jump into integrations, add integration, search for S3, and you just need the access key and secret. I've already added S3 here, so we will jump into querying a Parquet file that's on S3. And here's what the file looks like. So it's a taxi trip Parquet file. If you click here, you can get the S3 URI. So flip back here, and it's really easy. We just do select star from read. This query can take a few seconds because we're hitting a 20 million row data set on S3. So the query does take a second. I'll show later how we can speed that up. Basically, we can create a permanent table from this Parquet file in your Definite warehouse. But still not too bad, 3 or 4 seconds to pull this. So this data has, or this table has a bunch of different columns in it, mainly pertaining to NYC taxi trips, specifically for Uber and Lyft. So a bunch of different columns in here. What's really nice is that on top of even a file in S3, we can create a model that would let someone that doesn't know SQL analyze this data. So from here, we can just click create cube, and this will create a data model for this file in S3. So let's name it something like trips. Save. And this will create the model in Definite, and then we'll give you basically a pivot table on top of this data. And here's the model. So you can see our select statement from before. We're reading in this Parquet file. We have a bunch of measures or metrics automatically calculated on the data set. So things like total base passenger fare, which is just a sum of the base passenger fare column. And then all the timestamps are appropriately labeled as such. So on scene, daytime, request daytime, are all recognized as timestamps. Now that we have our model, let's go ahead and ask a question. So we might ask something like, how many taxi trips by day? So this will go out to the model we just created, figure out which columns make sense to answer this question, and then execute a query against that data model. All right, we got data back here, so let's take a look. So we got the number of trips by day, and I also am curious how many of these are Uber versus Lyft. The business name, I can test this out by just saying equals to Lyft. Query execute again. Again, we're hitting S3 directly, so these queries will take a second, but we'll also store them in the cache once they're run once, and then also you can just create a table in the warehouse, and you should get sub-second response times once the table is permanently created in the warehouse. And then let's plot this new data set. That looks good. And then in dashboard view, so say we want to share this with the rest of our team. We might not want this markdown cell, so we can remove that from the dashboard. I also want to add the breakout by day of week. So let's jump back into fee and ask that question. All right, got the answer back. And I will also add the tips in here. So add metric, tips. Perfect. That's how you build a dashboard on top of your S3 data in about 5 minutes. I'm Mike at Definite.app if you have any questions.